happy Saturday to you. I didn't want to make this video because I know the owner of Rumba, and if you know him, then you know that he's a pretty cool dude. So this is not for views. This is not for controversy. This is just to hum the rumors out there, calm the rumors out there. Um, there's a lot of rumors going on right now about what is happening, and I think it's really good just to kind of um, talk about it. Just making sure the microphone is working. So, guys, um, I'm going to wait for a couple of you guys to come on, and then we're going to discuss a few things. But just want to show you this view that I have right here of Sosua Beach. Beautiful view right there. All right. So welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Cerise Fairfax. I live in the north coast of the Dominican Republic, in a province by the name of Puerto Plata, in a town by the name of Sosua municipality. And this little area that I'm in is called Los Charamicos. So one of the business owners, who a lot of us know the business, a lot of us know the owner, has been arrested. His name is Ray, and he's the owner of Rumba. Now, I know Ray personally, so like I said, I didn't want to make this video because this is not for views. I found out yesterday that he was arrested, and I just was sitting on the information. But I woke up this morning to a lot of messages, and a lot of them are rumors, and people are like, he's getting deported. Some people are saying that he's back home. Some people are saying that he's in Santo Domingo still, and he is at the the deportation office, like immigration office in Santo Domingo. And some people are saying he got arrested because of all these different reasons. Like, some people are saying he had a prostitution ring. No, he did not. As far as I know, he didn't. He's a businessman, but he's in the restaurant business. Yes, a lot of women used to go to his business, but he was more there for the guys that were coming for the women. And a lot of American men, Canadian men, just a lot of people like that atmosphere, the music, the food, the space inside the restaurant itself. So no, it had nothing to do with women. I'm going to tell you guys what it had to do with in a second. Some people are saying, oh, he was selling substances. No, I don't believe that. Ray is a pretty cool dude. I don't even think he does substances, to be honest with you. I just know him as a businessman. And then some people are saying, oh, all these different negative things. What happened was the police were standing outside of his door. Okay, now Rumba Kings, it's on the corner, on one of the main corners where Operation Atlantico has been going on. It's been ongoing for a few months now. Many of you guys know it's the new Sosua. However, Rumba Kings is right there on the corner. Prime real estate, great location. And so a lot of the girls go there, and the police were hanging around the back door on Dr. Rosen. Now, there is, if you know Rumba Kings, there's the front door on Pedro Crisante. And that door is where a lot of people go in and out. That's the main entrance. But the other door, the side door, some people don't even know it's there. But you can go in that door as well. And a lot of people usually go out that door when they're on their way to the disco, or, not everyone uses that door. But the police apparently were hanging outside of that door, and he was getting really tired of it. Now, the police have been hanging out. Like, across the street from where his business is a cafe. The police go right inside that cafe and they sit down and they chill out. They have a coffee. They go on their cell phones. So they do hang around certain strategic places. Was he being targeted? I can't say yes or no. All I can say is it was a convenient spot for the police, and they were hanging right there. Um, so what he did was he hosed them down with water. So he put water on them to get them away, and that's what got him in trouble. That's why he got arrested, and he was trying to get the cops away from his property. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure if he rethought it, he would probably not do it. Ray is not a violent guy, hence the reason why he used water. He didn't fight them with his fists and his feet. It wasn't anything like that. But I'm pretty sure right now, even Ray would be thinking, you know, these guys are the boys in blue. You got to respect a person in uh, uniform anyway, right? So now what happened was he apparently right now, this is what I heard from my sources, but there's so many rumors going around right now, guys. I can't believe the amount of rumors that are going around. It's just so ridiculous. So, but I heard right now from a very good source of mine, and has nothing to do with like the American guys that come here or the tourists. This is a guy that is very well established here, and he told me that Ray is in Santo Domingo. So a lot of people are like, oh, he's on an airplane, he got deported, he was on a plane this morning. Those are not true stories, guys. He hasn't been deported. And a lot of people are saying this. I even believed it at one point because I got so many different forwards on WhatsApp. So many people were forwarding me this post that said that he was put on a plane yesterday morning and taken to Bermuda. He's Bermudian. So that's a lie. If you're hearing those rumors, those are lies. If you're in any of the WhatsApp groups, and I know those WhatsApp groups are probably just flaring with a lot of different information because I'm getting a lot of the information, and because I'm here with boots on the ground and there's a few people that I'm speaking to, I can tell you that he's still in the country. He's not deported. And I can tell you that it was water, a water hose that he sprayed on the police, and it was to get them out of his door of the business. It was the side door, the back door. It wasn't the front door. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking about Rumba. Ray from Rumba. Now, if you guys know Ray, you know he's a businessman. If you guys know Ray, you know that he is not into doing a lot of the things that people like to throw rumors about during a time like this. There are so many people that, and one person even messaged me and said, well, you know, who's next? They arrested Ray, so now they're going to go after the other dude that does the Halloween parties. Listen, that the two businesses are completely separate. The two businesses are completely different, you know. One business closes at like what, 9 o'clock. The other one goes into the later nights. One opens up for breakfast. I don't know if Rumba opens up at breakfast, but this has nothing to do with Halloween. This has nothing to do with Operation Atlantico. This has nothing to do with anything that has been going on in Sosua except for the police that are stationed at his door. And they're there just because they are hanging out there. Now, they do have these little corners that they hang on, right? The police, the foot patrol. And like I said, they've been hanging at the cafe just down from Slice. You know, the Slice restaurant? Slice is upstairs. Right downstairs is a cafe, and they hang out there. I don't think they're targeting any restaurant, but it can be annoying for a business owner, especially right now during the new Sosua change, with a lot of owners not making money, with a lot of, you know, and especially Ray being a businessman, he was worried probably about the police thwarting, like frustrating clients, customers from going into his business. But I do want to stress, it wasn't the front door, it was the back side door. And he was just tired of it. I don't know if he went to the police, the colonel. I don't know if he went to the Minister of Interior and Police, who is in control of Operation Atlantico. Her name's Farid Raful. I don't know if he tried to escalate this complaint to anyone else or if he just got frustrated and he's like, listen, get away from the door. You're here all the time. I'm tired of you being here. You're distracting business. Go away. And maybe they just wouldn't leave. I don't know. But I think it would have been a good idea for him to handle the situation a little bit differently. I know Ray, and Ray, if you're watching this, I'm praying for you, brother, that the situation turns out in your favor and that this is behind you and that this gets quickly organized and dealt with very quickly. Um, but you guys do know, I believe it was when Operation Atlantico first happened, many of you guys were like, oh, Sosua will be back to normal next month, back to normal by Halloween. And it's not. This is it. This is the new Sosua. And those of you who have been here already, you already know that it's not so bad. It's actually great. The new Sosua is cleaned up. The streets are really clean. I haven't heard anyone calling it Sosua in a very long time. It was freezing. Um, okay, so there are some people saying that he's back home. I can see here, um, which is great. Um, Ray is a cool dude. Speak English, Raphael. I am speaking English. Oh, you want to learn English, Raphael? ¿Tú quieres aprender inglés? Duolingo is gratis. Um, so yeah, it is berry. It is a salt. My volume is very low. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think my volume should be good now. Let me check it out. Volume should be good now, right? My volume's better. Let me check it out. So yeah, guys, so if he's home now, he's home. This is a good thing. The thing is this: business owners right now are getting very frustrated. And to have police officers outside of your business, it can become frustrating as well. But just back to Sosua itself, Sosua is changing. Um, I don't believe that uh, other business owners are being targeted. I do believe that business owners know that they have to, dot their I's and cross their T's. And I do believe that this Halloween will be a different experience. But you guys all are pretty cool people. You guys are adults. You know what you're doing. When you get here, you go out, you go into the water, you have a good time, you go to the clubs, have a few drinks, smoke some cigars, chill out, and relax. Again, I didn't want to make this video because it's not like, there's anything negative going on. It's He got frustrated, and sometimes we get frustrated in life. And this was a situation where Ray got frustrated. He's not a bad guy. He didn't do anything like what the rumors are saying. And I will tell you this. Um, I met him. I did a video with him on this channel. He has an extensive menu at his restaurant. He has done so many things at his restaurant for business and for you guys that are coming here to enjoy a good time, to enjoy a good meal. It's not like his business is a front for just women. Like, he literally has really good food there and a long menu. I think he probably has the biggest menu in Sosua. And I think one of the biggest restaurants as well in Sosua, in Bate. I'm trying to think of some other big restaurants. Like, there's one called Casa Coco. That's a pretty large one. But I think Ray's is bigger than that one. And oh, there was another one. But I don't know if it's closed down now or not. Not Tiki Wiki, but it's the same owners as Tiki Wiki. Coco Locos. I haven't seen Coco Locos open for a while. I saw them clear some stuff out of there near Atlantico time when it first started, and I haven't seen anything else since. So, yeah, guys, at the end of the day, there's going to be some frustration. There's going to be some people that are going to get upset. There's businesses losing money. There's families that are hungry right now. People lost their jobs. But Sosua will take some time to rebuild. It's doing that right now. I call Sosua Sweet Sosua. And Sosua is doing a lot of just going through its own thing. Um, I have a lot of people asking me, let me see. Raphael, hello, you're from the DR. That's great. Um, yes, Ray's okay, Michael. Um, he is doing great. Thank you so much, Wealthwise, for telling me about the volume. Um, they canceled. BA says they canceled your Airbnb for no reason, so you canceled your flight. No, you know what? This is the thing. There's some Airbnb accounts that were closed down, and all they had to do was um, like change their settings. Some of them say guest friendly, and that is straight out and out saying you can bring a girl here. Guest friendly. It's just a classy way of saying you can bring girls in. And that's exactly what they're targeting right here, right now. They don't want the girls walking the streets. They don't want the tourists um, being at risk. Some of the girls were unsavory, seedy, many of them, and then there are many good ones that just they want to make their money, they want to feed their families, they come here on the weekends from Santiago, Santo Domingo, La Vega, from wherever, and they do their thing. I heard that Punta Cana was also getting girls in Punta Cana were getting arrested as well. Many of the girls from Sosua were going all the way to Punta Cana so they can make their money there, and they were also getting arrested. A guy messaged me on WhatsApp and told me that his friend that he knows for a long time, and he forwarded me the message that they were discussing, and she said straight up, like, she used to be in Sosua, but then she went to Punta Cana a couple of years ago, and she's in Punta Cana, and all of a sudden the police start arresting the girls in Punta Cana. So this is something in the Dominican Republic, and there are areas, tourist areas, that are getting cleaned out. Sosua is, I would say, cleaned. I would say it's cleaned right now. Operation Atlantico, I would say, is not as severe as it was in the first couple of weeks, the first 3 weeks. When I'm in Sosua now, I don't see any convoys. I mean, I live right across the water. I'll show you. There's the casino right over there. That's Sosua Beach right over there. Uh, that's where the construction is for the plaza right there. I'm on that beach every single morning, walking Noche, my dog, and I'm watching the construction. So I will be doing a construction update with you guys. I've been watching the construction go up. The plaza is getting built quickly, especially in like the last week. It's looking nice, so there's some nice things happening in Sosua right now. So a lot of Sosua businesses are doing different things. There's something going on at El Colibre, near Halloween time. I think it's going to be the 28th or the 29th or the 30th. I'll get more information about that and I'll make a post about it. But it's like a pool party. And so there's some really nice places that are going to be doing some good parties. And people are looking forward to high season. A lot of you guys have been contacting me about high season and asking me what my prediction is. And I think everything's going to be fine because a lot of you guys are already coming here. I have not noticed anything different in the last month or so. I see a lot of people coming. I literally, like, I help people find apartments and I help people find real estate. That has not calmed down at all. Like, I literally have 5 apartments right now. Um, two of them are villas, and I'm going to be putting those up next week, probably Monday. But there's a two bedroom, and I have another two bedroom, and then I have a couple of other places, but most of them are long term. Some of them are short term. I have about maybe four condos that are short term if you're looking for short term when it comes to Airbnb. And not everyone's account is closed down. Certain people, but those people's accounts that are closed down, they have been being watched even before Atlantico. They were being watched, and their behavior and their how they are. There were cameras all along Sosua, all along Pedro Clasante. And that that I would say, those people were not necessarily, well, yeah, they were targeted. They were being watched, and their accounts were, and not all of them were being watched, because some of their accounts, they don't even live here. But if you're and they weren't doing anything wrong. Again, on their account, they said guest friendly. Um, but if you're looking for an apartment, and or a hotel or something of that nature, then come on, they are available. And if your Airbnb was canceled, you can still get a place. It's not as severe as what a lot of people are thinking. And I have had a lot of people contact me. You guys are coming in, like, you know, every single day. A lot of people are just contacting me constantly, and they're like, "Hey, Cerise, I'm going to be there." It's almost like Atlantico didn't even happen. Operation Atlantico didn't even happen, especially in the last week, 2 weeks. It just seems like everything's back to normal. People are coming back. The expats are coming back. High season is already starting, but it usually starts around the end of October, and that's when a lot of people come in. And of course they call it Halloween, but that's just when the snowbirds come back anyway, right? That's when people, they travel, the expats come back, and it starts to get a lot more busier because there's more expats back in town. They locked up their their cottages, so they're back in town for the winter months. And yeah, and I just my son's coming. My son is coming back. He um he came last year and he loved it so much. He came for 9 days. He's coming for a week. He'll be here the end of November. So I'm really excited about that. And I was looking at the flights because I was getting his paying for his trip. He wouldn't let me. He sent me the money back, which he's such a classy guy. But anyway, I was looking at trips last year. His trip cost 600 and like, I don't know, 600 and close to $700. This year it costs like 740 something, right? So the prices are not up by too much. The prices have not plummeted because of any type of negativity or anything of that nature. Let me see some messages here. um okay, so I don't have my glasses on, but it looks like Tadao TV. What happened to Ray? Okay, so for those of you tuning in right now, Ray was arrested, and he was arrested because police were hanging outside of his business, Rumba, and not in the front, but on the side. And sometimes at the front too, though. Sometimes they were at the front too when I would be like, upstairs at Slice doing lives for you guys, or just up there having a drink, chilling out. And I'd look down and I would see there's always police action on that corner. And it's a great corner, but it's a busy corner, and that's where the girls usually are. So that's where the police like to scout out, and that's where they try to get the girls. So at the back of Rumba, there is an exit and an entry, and the police were hanging there, probably just hiding there most of the time to get the girls, right? And this is not a cool thing. And the commission. So anyway, let me get back. Ray went out with a hose and he wet the officers, and two of them, I guess, I don't know. and or maybe 4 or 5, I don't know. But he wet them, and they arrested him, and he they took him to Santo Domingo, and that's about it. But if you guys know Ray, you know he's not going to go out there with guns and knives and fists and feet. He put water on them, like, get away, just go. Frustration, right? And it still is assault, as one of you guys said in the comments. It definitely is wrong. You don't do that to police officers. But at the same time too, I couldn't imagine the effect that this has had on most of the businesses, and to be right there on that corner where the police are literally scouting out the women. It's got to be tough. There was a woman that was arrested a couple of weeks ago, and she was out and about. She's from Sosua. She was out and about and hanging out on the street. She wasn't a working girl, and they arrested her, and it was big news. She's married, and not to say that working girls are not married, but she comes from a dignified family. She's a student, a university student. Her aunt is, I believe, a dentist in town or a doctor in town, something of this nature. She comes from a really good family, and she was livid. And she was telling them, "You can't, you like." She was telling them, "You can't. They can't arrest her. She is a student, a university student. She's literally in town because they did the cleanup, and she was literally going for a drink. She was just chilling out in the streets because the streets are clean now, and she, didn't feel like she was going to be confused to to be a working girl. But yet, like, from tourists, right? It's because a lot of the times the Dominican women don't like to go on Pedro Clasante because they think, oh my gosh, the tourists are going to think that they are prostitutes, and they're not. Many of the girls that just want to go hang on on Pedro Clasante, but this girl was doing it because she thought she would never be confused or mistaken for a working girl now, right? And she was by the police. They're doing profiling, and they arrested her. And then that's when they decided, and get this, guys, they're bringing in the Human Rights Commission all the way from Cibao. um, they're bringing them right in here, and they are going to be communicating with Puerto Plata. There's no date right now, but the Human Rights Commission is coming in because they're saying that they're getting too many complaints about the police and what they're doing to the women, and also like by their profiling. There's been way too many complaints. So could you imagine? They're bringing in a whole entire Human Rights Commission. And again, they didn't give the date yet. As soon as I do hear of a date, I will let you guys know, of course. Um, and Cleasy says, not the smartest thing to do, but obviously he's tired. Yeah, it's not the smartest thing to do. It's not. And I'm pretty sure he's probably looking at it now like, ugh. But at the same time, it must have been really mounting. I couldn't imagine 3 months of having the police in front of your business, and the little business that you are getting, and you're hearing the guys say, look, the police are out there, or the girls won't go in either. you know um Not every girl that goes in there is a working girl. Many of them used to be. And was it a hangout where girls would go? Absolutely. But he doesn't have apartments upstairs. Like, it's not like the girls go upstairs and, like, get a guy and go upstairs. It's not a brothel. It's literally a restaurant. And, people go in there and they order food. They're not just going in there to get the girls. Guys go in there all throughout the day. And many of the guys that go in there are expats as well, and they just sit out front. They have a drink, they get a good meal because, like I said, the food is good, the service is great. They meet up with each other there. It's one of the hot spots that guys like to go to. A lot of tourists go there. And right now it's low season. So, and also coupled with Operation Atlantico, it's got to be tough for a lot of the businesses here. But right there on the corner, yeah, it's he must have really experienced in the last few months a big blow to his income and also to his business. But I do believe that that will change. I have not, like I said, I have not noticed much in regards to Operation Atlantico changing Sosua. The new Sosua is here already. It's here. It's not going back to how it was. And the new Sosua is not bad. It's great. Yeah, you guys are not going to see videos of, panty parties on the street any longer. You're not going to see vloggers doing silly things like videoing girls against their will and stuff of that nature. But when you do come here, you'll still have a good time. It's Sosua. You can't change it up that much. It's a beautiful place. And so, yeah, he's not the only business owner that is frustrated right now. But again, I'm pretty sure in hindsight, right? You think, oh gosh, maybe that should not have been done. And knowing Ray, he's probably thinking, man, yeah, kicked himself in the butt because he's such a low profile guy, and he's a real businessman. He doesn't like to be in the limelight all the time and stuff. And this has put his whole business and his whole name and his whole photo all over the news. He's all over Facebook. He's all over the WhatsApp groups. And I'm pretty sure he would not want to be known as being arrested. But now that the truth is out, and he was arrested for splashing water on the cops, and it's not anything to do with women, it's not anything to do with substances, it's not anything to do with like him fighting or hurting someone. I think it's the lesser of the evils. So I'm pretty sure that he's going to be able to put this past him. And a lot of you guys who are his supporters and you love Rumba, and a lot of you guys that are coming here for Halloween or Christmas, New Year's, no matter what it is, or high season, whether you're an expat or if you are retired and you're just coming for a few months, or if you're just coming for a weekend. I know that you guys will go and, pay homage to him and show your love and support. And not only to him, but to the other business owners here that you know as well, because things are starting to pick up and everything's getting back. We've had like really good weather lately. A little bit of rain, I think it was the other day, but it was at night. So the weather is really great here, guys. And yeah, like the sky is so beautiful. Let me turn the camera around so you guys can see the sky. Look at the sky. It's so gorgeous. It's clear. Um, and the streets have been really clean. I love the new Sosua. Let me see. Big Hurt just came back, looks the same. Just the volume is down a bit. Other than that, same old, same old. Yeah, it is same old, same old. We love. Let me see. I don't have my glasses on. Oh gosh, I know I'm gonna really. I gotta get up and get my glasses, guys. I moved, by the way. Um. Anyway, it says Capone hit. Capone hit. We love Rumba because the ladies sitting there and chill. It is an attraction to come. Yes, the ladies used to sit in there and chill, and they would just chill. Like there's no room for rent there. It's not a brothel. There's no rooms at the back. Like the ladies literally sit there and have their drinks, and guys buy them drinks, and then they all head over the to the to the casino. It was just like a thing, right? Um, the new Sosua is great. P and T Adventures. The new Sosua is great. The chicas have not gone anywhere. Yeah. Pudo TV, still videos, the ladies daily on YouTube. This will not stop. He seems a local YouTuber and never shows his face. Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Um, but I do know that there are people being watched, and it just is what it is. Um, I don't want to talk about that because I don't like to put salt on anybody, if you know what that means, like bad luck on anyone or anything like that. Um, but it is a well-known fact that some that YouTubers are being watched, and so are Facebook accounts. As a matter of fact, Willie, the mayor, came out the other day on Facebook. I saw a video, and he said that. he's getting tired of people. He's the one that owns Classicos and the casino. And he said that he is getting tired of hearing people put Sosua down. And he said pretty soon these people are going to be, they're gonna some there should be some problems. People should catch problems if they're putting down Sosua in their videos, because this is the new Sosua and this is how it's going to be. And negative controversy, he doesn't like it any longer. So he literally said that, and he was very upset about it, very angry about it. He said it in an interview on the street, and he's been out and about a lot more. He's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. He was on the scooter yesterday, like a Pasola. He went up the street. He didn't have his entourage with him. He's out and about more. He's showing his face. He just put in a brand new um, fire station. We have a brand new fire station here in Albate. It's so really nice, like very modern. We have a brand new police station as well. Remember the police station? For those of you who used to come before, the police station was in front of Texaco. They just recently inaugurated that, the opening. It's open, it looks great, brand new. And yeah, there's something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, and Willie also, there was a woman in Maranata. It's a little neighborhood in Sosua. Her place burnt down, her business burnt down. She's a very religious woman, and they call her Doña, owner. And he went and gave her $10,000 to get her business back up and running again. So Willie's doing really nice things for Sosua, and a lot of it is very classy, and a lot of it is, it's just showing that Sosua is growing, and it's so clean here. Let me see. Right? The tourism is coming back around. Just like Big Hurt said, same old, same old. It's just less people right now. We're still in low season. We're still in low season, guys. Low season is right up until the end of October. But like, honestly speaking, like, you guys know, I keep it real with you 100. When Sosua first went under, I call it under, but when we first started to see these changes, I said to you guys, Sosu is never going to be the same again. And I was telling you guys, it's not going to be the same. And a lot of people were like, oh, whatever, it's going to be the same. And then you guys started to realize that, yeah, it's changed. And then you guys started to slowly come back. And I'm seeing a lot of people come back. And I must say that it is still low season and people are still coming. And for low season, like the whole entire beach is always crowded. Excuse me, let me drink some water here. I wonder if this would work. See if you guys can click on that barcode. I wonder if you can. This is my logo that I made. This is my name. And then someone made this cup for me, Cerise Fairfax. It's really a really nice cup. Jason Montgomery. So if you want any work done, like t-shirts, or you want to get a cup done or whatever, let me know, and I can get you in touch with Jason Montgomery. Really cool American guy. He's doing his hustle here, making these, and he makes like other little things. Whatever you want engraved, you can send it to him and he'll engrave it. But it's nice for you guys to get a commemorative cup when you're here. Mm. Something you can put a nice drink in when you're on the beach or at the bar or whatever. Um, so yeah, you know, it's low season, but it feels so great. Michael Ford says, I'm gonna still come back because the veteran clinics. Yeah, the veteran clinics are great. Patrick says, it's a ghost town. Yeah, but you know what, Patrick and you guys, Sosua, Pedro Clasante is really the only street where you're gonna see people at all times. And lately, it has been closing down a lot sooner than what it would normally close down. So I went out the other night with my girl. I don't go out often, but I went out the other night. It was her daughter's birthday. Her daughter had passed away. And so I was like, you know what? Let's chill out together and celebrate your daughter's birthday and, commemorate your daughter. And so we went to Casa Coco for some like 2 for 1 rib. It was 2 for 1 rib night, Casa Coco, down over in Bate by the beach. You guys should go try it. It was really good. And I don't really like ribs. I don't eat a lot of meat, but that was really good that night. It was a good treat. So anyway, we had that. We had a couple of drinks. They sell 2 for 1 mojitos. And then after that, we took a cab near Maranata to Los Castillos. And then we got back to Sosua. And it was around midnight. And we went to go get a drink. And the whole town was just like shut down. And I was like, "What?" Like we still wanted to chill. 1 o'clock in the morning came, and then so yeah, the bar said, "Okay, you guys got to go." Right. But I haven't closed down a bar in a long time. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, obviously things are open until 2:30. The casino used to be open and stuff like that. I was never really a person that was out late. By midnight, I've had it. By 11 at night, I've had it, and I just want to go home. And again, I don't go out all the time. But yeah, that night I did notice that it was a little ghost townish. And I was like, oh, that's not cool. But I mean, of course, because if you guys are coming, you want to make sure that you can have a real nice full night. But I do believe that that will change once high season comes in full effect. And a lot of businesses themselves during low season last year would close down and open up during high season anyway. It's just a thing, right? It's a tourist town. And so, you're not always going to see a lot of people all the time during low season. But again, a lot of people are contacting me, and most people are contacting me just for for a consultation to go sit down, talk about, becoming an expat, to talk about getting an apartment, learn more information on how they can Airbnb it out. They want to know, they want to get a tour around El Bate. They want to get a tour around here in Charamicos. Um, they just are contacting me, and that has not changed at all. I can tell you the volume of people that contacted me for the past 7 years during high season, like when high season was coming in, it hasn't changed. I'm not sitting here twiddling my thumbs wondering if there's going to be more people. I know that there will be. You can just tell, you can just sense it. Um, there's more flights coming in, and that means that a lot of people have already booked their flights ahead of time. My son's coming the end of November, and I booked his trip the other day. People don't just generally book the day or the week of their vacation. So obviously if there's more flights coming in, then that means that those flights are going to be packed, and people are coming. Just last week, no, 2 weeks ago, a whole entire flight came in. And these hotels, these all inclusives, they are really getting a lot of business. I went to an all inclusive but for one night about 3 weeks ago with my friend, just to kind of go in the pool and go on the beach, and like a little mini vacation. It really was, I would say, a waste of time, but it was a good time because I was with her. And we ended up leaving at like 1 o'clock in the morning just to come back here, right? She lives in Charamicos as well, in this gated community actually that I'm looking at. And we just lived down the street from each other, but we thought we would go and have fun with some tourists on the resort. And we ended up just hanging around each other and chilling out. Well, we ate some good food. We went to the restaurant, and we went in the pool. It was great. But overall, I mean, I have a beach right here, but again, my point is there were a lot of people on the resort. The resort was busy. So, don't worry about coming to a ghost town. Don't worry about coming to a place where your fun is going to be taken away. With the ATVs, you can still get ATVs, but they have to be registered. It has to be a registered ATV. So make sure that when you get your ATV, the person who owns it has it registered. A lot of people, I did a video about no more ATVs were allowed in Sosua. They changed that because they had a huge meeting, and Willie and the rest of the head people were like, okay, you know what, we understand it's a huge tourist attraction. Of course, you can still have ATVs, but we want them all registered. You have to have a sticker for them, and they can only be on certain routes in Albate. And that shows that they're working with the town as well. They're not just saying, no, you can't be on your ATVs. They realize it is a huge tourist interest. So, yeah, you want to make sure that you guys are just, when you get here, just chill out. For those of you who are just tuning in right now, let me see. Oh, Patrick said in a good way. Michael Ford. Yes, Chief is here already. He's upstairs. We live in the same building. He's upstairs. He's here today. He got here the other day, and look out for Chief singing in Hard Rock Cafe soon. The Sosua Soul Singers. So let me tell you guys about that. There's a group of American men. There's Chief, there's Sheik, there's Tyson, and I believe the guy's name is Terry, and Joe, and there's another guy, and their voices are like honey, so sweet. They sing together, and it sounds like they have been singing together in a group for their whole entire lives. So they go to karaoke. They all met through karaoke pretty much. And they named themselves the Sosua Soul Singers. And I love them. So I contacted the owner for Hard Rock Cafe and messaged him on WhatsApp. And I'm like, listen, there's some guys here that are really good singers, and I think that they would bring in a crowd at the Hard Rock Cafe. They have followers. People follow them like from here to Cabarete for their music, right? When it's karaoke night. And so the owner was like, yeah, I like it, I like the sounds of it 100%. So they go there and they run that Hard Rock Cafe every Wednesday night. So when you guys come in, if you are a karaoke singer, or if you like to hear some good karaoke music, and I know back in the day, karaoke singers were the worst sometimes, but they take their karaoke pretty serious here in Sosua. I even jump on the mic. I sing Etta James, at last, my love has come along. Anyway, I don't want to do that to you guys right now. But yeah, I even, get on the mic. My sister got on the mic when she was here a couple of weeks ago, and she did an amazing job. My baby sister sang Midnight Train to Georgia. Oof, I forgot how good she sings. I hadn't seen her in 7 years. And yeah, she really enjoyed her time here. There were a lot of girls on the street screaming out at her husband, which I thought was very different, because the girls, like when I'm with a dude on the street, maybe because the girls know I'm doing business and they know whatever. But anyway, when I'm with a dude, when I'm sitting at a bar, you know, um, a song just came in my head. Remember that Tupac song? Sitting at a bar, talking to a brother about his car. What's next? She headed to the car for some sex. Look here, Miss Thing, I hate to salt your game, but you's a money hungry woman and you need to change. In the locker room, all the homies do is laugh, high fives, because another played your ass. That's Tupac. Oh, that's the song, Wonder Why They Call You Bitch. Anyway, I went totally off. Here we go. Sorry. So my sister was walking down the street with her husband, and this girl's like, Poppy, hola, Poppy. And I'm like, the heck is going on here? But my sister looks Dominican. So maybe they just thought my sister was, Like it maybe they didn't realize that was her husband, and he looks American. He's Canadian, but he looks American. I did an interview with them. You guys should watch that. I think it was maybe 2 videos ago. But the girls were they were desperate on the street that day. I was like, girls, and there were a lot of them on the street that day, and they're like, Poppy. So yeah, the girls are out. The girls are out. My sister, she really enjoyed her time here. Um, Let me see. Our goodie. Okay, Cerise. How you doing, Ron? Uh, Thomas Loke says, oh wait, is the Commission for the Rights Violations independent of the country made up? So the Human Rights Commission that is coming to Sosua because of all the complaints about the police officers is a federal level. It's not a Sosua commission. It's a federal level. So they're coming from Cibao, and they are coming here to check out everything. And they didn't give a date yet, but they are going to work with people in Puerto Plata, and they're coming here, and they're quite serious about it. They're very concerned about it as well, very concerned. And I could tell through a lot of, like, I do the news, you guys. Like, I was doing the news twice a week. I decided to do it once a week. I got really busy the last little while because I moved upstairs from my old apartment. And, so I've been learning a lot about the news here, doing the news for you guys. And it's really interesting. The Dominican Republic, they are very strict. They do want people to be happy, but they also want to get things in order, you know? There's some stuff going on right now, for instance, with the medical industry. The Dominican Republic is not one of the number one countries for medicine. And I would never ever think that until I read that the other day. And I was like, what? Because a lot of my friends here who get operations here, like, they won't even get an operation here. They'll go home first and stuff like that, but it's a destination for a lot of cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, I'm going for a whole lot of cosmetic surgeries in the next coming probably year. I'm going to be 54 in December, and I just, I gained a lot of weight, and it just really feels horrible. So I want to inspire myself to lose the weight. So, and I do see a lot of people here take very good care of their bodies, and so I've been doing a lot of walking in the morning with Noche, and working on my weight. I lost 39 pounds, but I still have like 45 pounds to lose. So that's still a chunk of weight to lose. And when I put those numbers together, I'm like, holy smoly macaroni, I must look just like a big chub rock. And it's not cool because I'm not used to being this size, and it really feels uncomfortable. Just being real with you guys for a moment. So I've decided I'm going to go for, and I know I've spoken about it before, but I never went for it. But now I'm very serious about it, and I'm going to go for a tummy tuck. I'm going to go for a breast lift. I'm going to go for brachioplasty, like they take the extra skin off your arms, and I'm going to go for 360 sculpting. I'm not going to do a BBL. I'm not going to like go over the top. I don't want necessarily a big butt and big hips. I don't want to like change my body that much, but I do want to get a tummy tuck. And I've been seeing a lot of the different procedures online, and it is what it is. I've had a tummy tuck before, 20 years ago, but you got to get them done again, just because. But that one was a pretty good one. And so a lot of people are coming here to do those surgeries. A lot of people are coming here to get facelifts and breast implants and BBLs. And so the medical industry is getting a real good name now here in the Dominican Republic. So that's really going great for the Dominican Republic right now. And that's good to hear, because it shows that we are becoming more first world now, and it's not like third world. It's a developing country, and they're developing quite quickly. The electricity, by the way, guys, a lot of you guys have been asking about the electricity, and that was a problem. the electricity was going out quite a lot. It's because so much electricity was being used, and some of the electricity was actually stolen as well. They don't know how, but now what the president has done is he said by 2026 there will be no more blackouts, and I believe him. I believe him. You know, I do believe that he's working very hard. And a lot of people are hard on the Dominican Republic because it is a developing country, and especially a lot of tourists that come here, or a lot of expats, or just visitors that observe online. A lot of them are really hard on the Dominican Republic, but I believe that they are developing very greatly, and it is going to be a changed country in probably the next 4 years. I believe it will be one of, like, I believe it will be first world. The infrastructure is doing really well here. They're just working on a lot of it. And let me see. Dominican Constitution says you have the right to move freely throughout the country. Did I miss something? To move freely throughout the country. Yep. Um, medical tourism industry, same as Mexico. If you live in California, go to Mexico. Dental, yeah. You know what, guys? I'm going to tell you something about the dental. I already told you guys in another live. But I had braces on. I have braces on right now, and I had braces on for 2 years, and the woman messed with my teeth. So I'm really angry about that. It's real. I like to forgive people, and I like to forgive and forget and move on because I know I'm not perfect. But this the hate festered for like, oof, it really festered for about maybe a month now. When I found out that she was inexperienced, she shifted all my teeth right over to the side. This tooth right here is now down and longer than that one. Oh, I had to go get those braces off and start the treatment again with a different dentist. So I'm really angry about that. And I think about her every now and again. And I just think I want to walk over to that office and I just want to yell, but I don't want to get myself in trouble. You know, we got to keep ourselves under check, you know? And so I understand the frustration that Ray had with his business, just getting back to the reason why I made this video. I understand the frustration that Ray had with the police and just pouring water on them, spraying them with water. I get it, you know, because it's like you get so frustrated with some situations. And that woman, I just, I'm angry. I wanna wait though until my teeth are done, and then I'm most likely gonna take her to the fiscal. Most likely gonna take her to court, and not for money, because my braces were only $900, but for principle, and for her to get checked out for her license. um you know, I don't want her doing this to other people, so it's for principle. It wouldn't be to sue her for money. It would literally be for them to check her out, to check her license out, and make sure that she doesn't practice and do much, because I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. And there was a lot of people that she did that to. So a little angry, you know, I'm very bitter about that. It really set me back emotionally and mentally for about, well, I'm just getting over it. I'm just getting over that anger right now. I'm not thinking about it as much. And probably because I moved last week and I have a beautiful view, even though I just moved up one floor. But I was even thinking about leaving the Dominican Republic. Like I was fit to be tied. I was like angry. And I was like, I'm leaving. I went online and I looked at Africa. I looked at the Gambia in Africa. I looked at what other countries? Kenya. I looked at Ghana. Man, I looked at China. I looked at Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Panama. Where else did I look? I went off track, guys, but I'm just keeping it real right now with you. Yeah. Oh, Colombia. Did I say Colombia? And also Buenos Aires, Argentina. I was looking all over, but you know what my research showed me, guys? That this is the place to be. I was crying with my sister on the phone. I was like, man, I just feel like it's time to leave. I just want to get rid of everything. I just want to take my dog and my cat and I just want to go, you know? And I did all this research, and I believe it was God's way of showing me be content where you are, child. Child, just be content where you are because it's a good place to be. And it is. And I fell back in love with Sosua, and I fell back in love with the Dominican Republic. And I did get rid of everything downstairs in my apartment. I gave away a lot of the things. Um, I was also very frustrated with the orphanage. I was referring to it as the orphanage downstairs, where the Haitians live next door. The women, um, they argue a lot. The Haitian women, and I don't. I love everybody, but I just don't like the arguing and the fighting. I don't like it. And I've seen so many videos of like the Haitian women, and sometimes they bring out those machetes. So I was like, man, just stop fighting, stop arguing. And then the children, they were running rampant. They were running outside like it was a huge headache. And I had to make my videos. So I have other YouTube channels, and I had to make my videos like early in the morning before they would start crying and screaming and yelling and fighting over there. And it became heavy, so my braces, my weight, my personal life, but everything else was going good in my life, business and people around me, and I have a good network system. So I was just allowing little things to get to me, and I definitely did need a change. And I moved up one floor. And everything, like I gave away garbage bags full of stuff because I was downstairs for 5 years in that apartment, and we accumulate things, right? So I'll show you guys my new apartment right now. Actually, I'll see um, if I can show you guys while I'm on live. But I ended up giving all this stuff to the Haitian women anyway, and they loved it. So I made friends with them, and you know, I said to them, please be quiet. Respect your neighbors. You got to respect your neighbors. I understand that you have a tough rate now. I understand that you know things are unpredictable for you right now. I understand that you can't go outside every single day. I get this, but if you need anything, just ask us. In this building here, we're all expats. Just ask us and we will help you. Don't argue and fight with each other. You know, I gave them a whole bunch of garbage bags full of stuff and they fought over that. As soon as the bags got over there, they were fighting over it. And I gave it to them to share, and I gave them a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you guys my apartment now. Let me get some more water. Let me see first. Michael, the new you're buying one of the apartments for 150,000. Great, great buy. Good for you. You said a few cats came up missing from yes. Yes, they did. Cat, I used to smell cats cooking. And that smell, you know, like it's like it was awful. It was an awful smell. You hear the cat first, right? And it's like the cat's crying for dear life. And then you just don't hear it any longer. But then it smells like fur and meat that you never smelled cooking before, and I would have to close my windows. But I haven't smelt it in like maybe about a year. No, under a year. But still, I used to smell it a lot like last year. Anyway, let me turn my camera around, guys. And I'm going to show you my apartment. Okay, so here's my view. Here's Noche. Noche, say hi. Okay, let me go to the front door and then I'll just come in like I'm coming in the front door. So it's the exact same layout as my other building. I mean, as my other apartment, the exact same layout. Just, it's amazing though. Here I have more greenery. See, last time, I'll show you guys. I hope no one's okay. See that building? See that roof right there? Right there? That roof? Well, that is where my other apartment was. So I didn't see all that beautiful greenery, right? So this is my washer right here, and that's my um, microwave. That's their TV. Hi, Nudge. This is mine right here. That's mine right there. I like to make cooking videos. Um, okay. So I had a dining room. This is the dining room area right now, right here. But I made this dining room area into my office because I use my desk a lot more than I use the kitchen table. So there's my office. And also, I had that closed because I was doing some videos from my other channel called Sister Series. But look at the green. Mango. Whoops. That's a mango tree right there. Look at all the greenery all around my apartment. It's so gorgeous. Sorry, said reconnecting. I better move slow. And so, yeah, there's my dining room. And here's my living room right here. Again, I have all the curtains closed because of lighting. I was doing videos for my channel, Sister Cerise. It's an entertainment channel. So um and then here's my TV. That's my TV right there. Cable and also Wi-Fi is included in my rent. Let me take you guys into, I'm going to move slow because it said reconnecting. So let me go slow. Here's some pictures on the wall. So my theme is red, black, and white. Okay, moving slow. Here's my son's bedroom. I always like to have a room for him because, he knows he's can always come home. He left me a song. Um, once I booked his flight, he's like, "I'm coming home." The song's called "Mom, I'm coming home." So here's out the window. These guys are doing their laundry right there. The buildings are this close, so they can't come into the bedroom window because there's bars. But this is Charamicos. That's across the street. That's a gated community. And so this is my closet. I put my stuff all there. I still have to go through all those shoes because I have a lot to give away to the woman who does my pedicure. And here's Tyree. Tyree is my son. Here's Tyree's bathroom. Um, I don't use this bathroom. I don't use the bedroom, obviously. So I just open the window every day for air. Here's my bedroom and my bathroom. Whoops, something fell. Hold on. This is my hair thing. That's what I put on my hair to dry. There we go. So this is my bathroom. Exact same as my son's. Um, Bars on that window as well. And here's my bedroom. That's not my cat. I, Sorry guys, it looked like my Wi-Fi was on. But yeah. My Wi-Fi was on. So I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I think that video was a little sketchy because my Wi-Fi kicked in. But yeah, let me see. So yeah, guys, I am happy in this apartment and I'm just relaxing now. I decided that it's for me. This apartment is for me. Sosua is for me after doing so much research online and you know, just kind of rediscovering Sosua. I think it was really important for me to rediscover Sosua. And so that's good, Sosua with the medical tourism and the medical advancements. And if you guys are looking to really invest in something here, coffee. This is a real good tidbit for you right now. The coffee industry is about to boom and make billions, but they don't have enough workers. The people that used to work in the coffee industry are now choosing jobs like construction. They're choosing jobs like education. They're getting educated now. And so the one industry that is really suffering and they need workers for is the coffee bean industry. Serious. I do the news, and so I learned that and I was like so shocked. And I was like, wow, um there must be some money to be made in that right now. Because when business is up, but the way to generate that business is gone down, then you know that there's some money to be made there. So if you are an investor, then I would say get involved, get yourself a nice coffee bean farm and sell your coffee because it has been the right now it is selling more than it has ever in 10 years. So it's really interesting how we don't look past real estate and we don't look past certain things that are being spoken about. But that coffee industry right now, look it up online, research it. If you are an investor, if you do have money or you know someone else, and get involved in the coffee industry, I believe that you can make some money there. Um, and the coffee here is amazing. Santo Domingo coffee is the one that's the most popular. I think that's the only one that I know. But um, I might start my own coffee company and call it Cereza. That's my name in Spanish. Cereza. It means cherry, the fruit cherry. I was born with red hair, so my parents named me Cherry, but in French, Cerise. But yeah, I don't know. I might start a little coffee bean company and source my own coffee. Why not? Actually, thinking about that, I might do that. When you guys come on down and buy you some coffee, I would really like to do that. And I think it would probably be a lot more financially reasonable for me to get it right here from the source. And especially now that they don't have enough workers, they probably would be selling it at cost almost. So that's just an idea for you guys that are investors and thinking about something that you can invest in the Dominican Republic. But yep, I just wanted to share all that with you guys. Let me see. None of your business says, is it affordable? My apartment affordable? And Duckman says, ship to me. I will buy in bulk. I would love to ship, but you know what? I don't think I could ship from here. I don't think I can ship from here. I think I would have to get it distributed differently. It's very difficult to get things shipped out from here. I have a hair product and a face care line, and I don't know how to get it off the island. I have a hair product made with mango seed, and it helps your hair grow. And my hair, like, I'm constantly cutting it, but right now it's a little dry, but like my hair grows so quickly, and the curls stay strong. But I just don't know how to get it off the island. And my facial care product is it's really good. It's made with tallow, beef tallow, and it's amazing for the face. It makes the skin soft, and it helps, just kind of keep the skin with a lot of collagen in it strong. I just don't know how to get them off the island. It's very difficult. And I think that really points to the island being still in a developing stage, because shipping things out is almost impossible unless you have like a distribution company. Also, we don't have a federal mailing system yet, right? People, like, they don't mail things to your home, but you can get deliveries here. Amazon has a hub here now, so that's pretty good. And I don't think they'll ever have a federal mailing system here. I think they've done so good without it, and they just get their packages delivered differently, that I don't think the government is going to invest in a federal mailing system, because we don't even do mail any longer. Society, we do emails now, and packages that get delivered. Most of them are heavy packages from, Amazon and stuff like that. So Amazon does have a hub here now, and they are in the Dominican Republic for the entire Caribbean. So if you order products that are over $40, $45, then you get free delivery, which is great. I use EPS for my package, from Temu and also from Amazon. But Temu, you can you can give your address, and they will deliver straight to your address here. And I'm going to do that today, actually. I'm going to order some products on Temu, and I'm going to see how they deliver them here, because yesterday, I got a package, some clothes that I bought, and it came up to like 1,400 pesos for the delivery. And, that's on top of what I paid. And it may not seem like a lot, it's what, 28 bucks, but I don't want to spend 28 bucks on just picking up my packages. It was convenient while it was convenient, but I don't want to do that any longer if I can choose differently and get it for free. The other day, I ordered something on Amazon, and it came, and it was 6 pounds, and I paid, I think, about 2,000 pesos. You know, I don't want to do that any longer. We have a hub here now. Temu will deliver straight here, and so will Amazon. So again, I don't think that we'll ever have a federal mailing system here. But again, shipping out is something that is very archaic right now. And I don't know how we get things off the island. So I would have to figure that out. Oh, a container, Duckman container, DSL, check barrels, shipment. Okay. Thank you. There we go. That was a quick answer. Um, okay, well, that's good. And housing, none of your business. Oh, okay. You guys want to hear about my apartment? Okay, so my apartment, um, there's one downstairs right now, and it goes for 750 a month, the exact same layout as my apartment. And it's two bedroom, two bathroom, exactly the same. There's not anything that's different. It comes furnished. Um, if you want it empty, you can have it empty. They just painted it. It's already painted right now. It's available right now. I'm going to be putting it up on Monday, but it's my exact same layout, and you can also see the water a little bit less, but you can still see the water. And the this faces the gated community. So let me just turn this around and show you guys the gated community down there. So that's what you would be facing. If you guys look on my YouTube channel at my previous videos, you'll see my apartment, and exact same layout. 750 bucks a month, two bedroom, two bathroom, fully furnished. You get your Wi-Fi and you get your cable included. My electricity downstairs, the most I ever paid was 1,900 pesos, which is under 40 bucks a month. And that's only when I use my air conditioner. The least I ever paid was 500 pesos, which was 10 bucks. So, and that was like in the winter months, um, when I don't need the air conditioner. And so, yeah, lately I've been using the air conditioner a little bit more because of menopause. Uh, you know, I don't get hot flashes or anything, but you know, I like to sleep with blankets. I don't know why I sleep with blankets here in the Dominican Republic too, but I like to sleep with blankets. So I'll put the blanket on me with the sheet, with the top sheet, and then I get hot and I take the blanket off and I keep the sheet on, and then I get hot, I take the sheet off, and then I turn the air conditioner on. And I leave that on for maybe about half an hour, and then I turn it back off, and then I put the blankets all on me again. Oh, it's so silly what we do in our sleep, but yeah, I just like blankets. So my I still have to see how much my electricity is going to be in this apartment, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same as it is always. The guy across the hall, he has a studio apartment and he pays 500 pesos a month. That's 10 bucks for his electricity. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, we are in the local area, and so, in the local area, you get quite a few benefits here in this area. I really like the benefits that I get here because not only is the rent reasonable, but you also have grocery stores that are really reasonable, and you can get international products as well at one of the grocery stores. And there's colmados, and it just is so much more traditional and really cultural. I love living in the local area. There's so many benefits as well because you get to know your neighbors a lot, and they're so friendly. Like there's a fruit market downstairs, and I went and I bought like a huge pumpkin from him, like a squashy pumpkin, not an orange pumpkin. But here, um, we have pumpkins, right? So we boil them up, and we make pumpkin. And I used to eat a lot of pumpkin when I was in Canada as well. Um, but um, because I was raised with a lot of Jamaicans, right? So I was used to eating it like a Caribbean. So here the other day I bought a huge pumpkin, like literally about this big, and a calabesa, it's calabesa, right? And it was 150 pesos, so 3 bucks. Um, I bought, and that was a big part of the purchase. But for 600 pesos, 12 bucks, I bought the calabesa. I bought a whole bunch of tangerines. I bought um, peppers and like a whole bunch of stuff for like 12 bucks. It was a good deal. And avocado, and the avocados are huge. And so, yeah, I get my coffee in the mornings when I walk Noche downstairs from the coffee lady. She makes the best coffee. I don't know what she puts in it, but there's something. I don't know if it's nutmeg that she puts in it, but I like to go to her. There's a jewelry store. I like to go there and get little like earrings there and stuff. Yeah, I like the local area. The electricity is generally cheaper in the local area as well. Lately, it's been a little sketchy for the locals. I don't know why, but a lot of them have been complaining. The woman who does my massage, I mean, my manicure and my pedicure. Oh, that's another thing. I have a woman that comes directly to my apartment and she gives me manicures and pedicures. Um, 1,000 pesos, 20 bucks. She was here the other day. I have a guy that I knew for a while and I never really used him, but I used him the other day. He does massages. Um and I paid him 500 pesos, right? 10 bucks. But I'm pretty sure he would charge other people like 12 bucks, right? And he does like a nice half-hour massage. Those are the benefits of being in the local area because people just come right to your apartment, and they'll do things for you, and you get to give them money for their services, and you gain respect back and forth. I have a cleaner that comes here, and I pay 1,500 pesos, so 30 bucks, and she'll clean for like a couple of hours. I clean in between. I only get a cleaner once every 2 weeks, or maybe once every 3 weeks. So I haven't had a cleaner yet since I moved in because it was a brand new apartment, right? So I'll probably have someone do a deep cleaning next week, maybe. Um, and yeah, so the area is really great. It's a safe area, even though it is in the local area. A lot of people think that the local area is dangerous because you have more locals, but no, you know, I find that Dominicans really appreciate it when you are a foreigner and you are in the area, and they love it. They love when you're buying their foods, you're buying their services, their treatments, whatever. They really appreciate it. And they show you that they appreciate it as well, by looking out for you and giving you little offers like deals sometimes. And a lot of people think, oh, the gringo prices is my oh, okay, wait, hold on. I heard that Playa Chiquita is open. I heard that the casino is open. Um, yes, I know someone that will cook meals, and you can put the meals in the freezer. They'll do like meal prep for you. So they'll come and you just pay them to cook for the day. Probably, I can't see it being more than 1,000 pesos for them to cook, like, let's say, 3 meals or whatever. They'll cook and clean at the same time, but you would have to pay them a little bit more. But they'll cook, clean, do your laundry, and yeah, it's great. And the women love doing it. They're very passionate about cleaning, and they really love a nice, clean, tropical apartment. And it smells so good after they clean too. Um, but yeah, they'll come and they'll cook for you. They'll cook whatever you want. Basically, they can cook hamburgers if you want them to cook like, American food, but I would only assume that you would get them to cook Dominican food. So, like, if you want them to make la bandera, which is the national dish, which is one meat, rice, beans, and salad, they could definitely cook that. Traditional meals, if you want them to do traditional meals, sometimes they'll just cook in their own home. And especially if it's like chicharron, like pork rinds, or cerdo asado, which is like barbecued pork, or beef or whatever. Sometimes they'll just cook in their own home and they'll deliver it to you. Um, and or you go pick it up, or you get a taxi to go pick it up. I don't have anyone cook for me, but I just know, like, through my clients that get that done. Um, but this year, I am definitely getting someone to cook habichuelas dulce for me. I was going to say para mí, which means for me. Habichuelas dulce. It's sweet beans, and they usually make it during Semana Santa, the Holy Week, Easter week. And I forgot to get water when I was in my apartment. And they're so delicious, but they don't sell them because it's a traditional food, right? It's like turkey. You make turkey just when it's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's or whatever, Easter, right? So they make this traditional habichuelas dulce. If you can get it when you're here during Semana Santa, Holy Week, which is Easter, get some. They're so delicious. So I'm going to see if I can actually get someone to make them for me, because they're not any special ingredients. It's not like the ingredients are only in the store during that time. So I'm going to see if I can get someone to make that for me. But that's the only thing that I don't know how to make. I know how to make Dominican food now, and and plus I don't always like Dominican food anyway. I like spicy food. I like using a lot of different spices. I don't find that Dominicans use enough spices, and I don't mean picante. I don't mean hot. I just mean spices. Like their main thing is like a lot of like some I don't know. Like I like to use paprika, garlic powder, garlic salt, or like onion powder. They don't use rosemary in a lot of their foods or stuff. I just like a lot more spicier food. Haitians make, not sorry, spicy, but like herbs and spices. Haitians make tastier food. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I'm just being a very honest. I was raised in a family where my dad was the chef and my dad was a very good cook, and so spices were a really important part of our cuisine. And so I find that here it's lacking taste for me. So when I do go out late at night, or like when I'm out at night and I get hungry on my way home, I'll go for like a burger or a quesadilla from the truck, or like a poutine, jayora, jay, jarora, jaroa, or whatever. I'll go for that stuff, right? Because I know that it will have a little bit more, some taste to it. But you can tell your cook that you like it spicy. You can tell your cook that you want more, spices in it. Um, but for the most part, Dominicans don't like spicy food either. For the most part, Dominicans are like, "Oh, it's spicy." They don't like a lot of picante. Some of them do, right? But most of them, they're like, "Oh no, I don't want anything spicy." But I cook for a lot of Dominicans, like my friends. Um, oh, happy Thanksgiving. Is it Thanksgiving week? It's Canadian Thanksgiving right now. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Um, Ria, is that how you pronounce it? You're making me hungry. Tony Hernandez, hello. Medical services and healthcare system. How does one pay for medical? None of your business. Asked about medical. Um, and I think the other question before that was, is the club district open? Yeah, the clubs are open, but not a lot. So medical, I use Universal. There's some main ones here that people use. So I'll just give you guys some of the names. There's Mafre, which is Maphere, I believe. Mafre. There's also Humano, like human with an O. And then there is Universal. Those are the ones I'm familiar with. I have Universal. I've had them for a few years. They take it off my credit card every month, and mine is $80 a month, which you can't put a price on health. I know, but in Canada, I never paid for health, and $80, it's $80 Canadian, not American. So I guess for an American, it would be like $65. But it's $83 every month taken off my credit card. And I'm like, but it's all right. You can't pay for health. And so I use Universal. Universal has three levels. They have like one where it's totally loaded. And usually that's for people who get medicines and stuff like that. People who have medical concerns. It's suggested that they get the top tier. And then there's the other tier is, there's, I don't know, I look at it like gold, like platinum, gold, and silver, right? They may even be called something like that, but you get your platinum and everything. You get everything on it. I have the middle tier. I don't have the bottom tier. You can't be over 65 with Universal, but there are some brokers. If you guys are looking for somebody, if you're over 65 and you're looking for a broker, let me see if I have the number in this cell phone. There is a broker. She's in Cabarete. I've never used her before, um, but I do have her phone number, and she comes highly um, qualified. Let me see. Um, Her name's Beaky. Is she here? I don't know. Uh, no. But you guys can contact me directly if you're looking for the number. Let me see. Let me go insurance. Insurance. Hmm. I don't know. But there's a guy for Humano. This is the Humano number. His name's Norman, and his phone number is 829-529-4181. And he's for Humano. And you can message him on WhatsApp, and you can just tell him your age, and you can tell him your medical condition and stuff of that nature. And he will give you a quote on WhatsApp how much you pay. And then my girl, Jeanette, um, let me see. I'm pretty sure I have her number in here. Yeah, Jeanette Universal. I really like Universal. I use Universal. I, I'm not promoting Humano. I'm not promoting Mafre at all, but you want to search your options according to your money and according to your medical needs. This one here, Jeanette at Universal, I use her and she's on the ball. I really like Universal. 829-986-9866. And you can WhatsApp her, tell her I sent you. And they know me very well there. They are located in Sosua on Pedro Clisante in the EPS building where you pick up your packages, right across from Fat Jesse's, right beside um, Jolly Roger. And they're so conveniently located. They're so friendly. They're really nice bunch of girls there. And the EPS is the same business. So you can go in and pick up your packages there as well. And yeah, I really like them. I get a good vibe from them. I've never used them for anything. For cleaning my teeth like 6 years ago. I got a good discount when I went for teeth cleaning at the dentist. So and it did work. You get a card, like you get a nice hard plastic card, and it has your identification number on it. And also, you can just take it to like a dentist, and a dentist can slide it in and give you the discount right away. Or doctor, you can go to the doctor with the card. So it's quite advanced, I would say. Let me see any other questions here. Why did they arrest the owner? Okay, let me answer that one before I go on. Tony, they arrested Ray because he was getting a little frustrated with a lot of the police hanging around his business outside of the door, and he hosed them down to get rid of them. And I could only imagine how many times he asked them to go. I could only imagine how many times he told them, get away from the door. They're distracting business and stuff of that nature. And they just probably kept going back and kept going back. And, it is a little disrespectful on both parts. It's disrespectful for the police to be hanging around that back door like that, trying to snatch the women as soon as they go in or go by. And it's also disrespectful for Ray to have done what he did as well to police officers. But I'm pretty sure that everyone, um, you know, is going to work it out. I'm drinking right now um, hibiscus tea. It's so sweet, but also sour. It's a flower, hibiscus flower, and but it's so delicious. They call it the flower of Jamaica. That's what they call it here, Flor de Jamaica. Really interesting, but they grow on the trees here. I bought this in Playa. I didn't pick it off the tree, but I do have stuff in my cupboard picked from the tree. Mm. I have avocado leaves, mango leaves, merengue. I have so many nice flowers and leaves. Okay, let me see the other question. Um, Zamir says, "Damn, that's crazy." EPS is next to the adult store in Skinny Jesse's. That adult store came right out at the time just before Atlantico. I find that so comical. They have a sex shop right there on Pedro Clisante. They're not getting much business now. Holy. Can one live comfortably with 3K to 4K pension? Yes. Medical, food, housing. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I think one can live comfortably um, in the local area on 2,000 a month or less. I say 2,000 comfortably. If you are a person that likes to go out for dinners, if you're a person that likes to go out for drinks, socialize. If you don't drink, if you don't go out for dinner and you live in the local area, you could wing it living here on like 1,500 a month, especially if you get like an apartment here in the local area, small apartment, like an apartment like mine. If you were to get an apartment like mine is a large apartment. I think my apartment is large, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, spacious. So 750, if you were to get the apartment below me, 750 a month, right? Furnished, you don't have to do anything. You don't pay your you pay your electricity. You do pay your electricity. You don't pay your Wi-Fi and you don't pay your cable. So when you're looking at 750, you're looking at for electricity shouldn't be any more than $50 a month if you are using the AC a lot. Mine is under 50 a month. I don't use my AC a lot. So you're looking at $800 to live in a really nice place. If you're single and you don't mind having a studio apartment, you're looking at like $450 a month for your rent, still furnished, still Wi-Fi, still cable, and your electricity will be lower, right? Uh, so let's say about $500 a month for your roof over your head. And then I don't know what your food costs would be. Maybe $300 a month. My food costs are not very high. Uh, and I have a cat and a dog. And so I include that into my food costs. Um, I go to the grocery store like maybe once a week. They have specials every Tuesday on fruits and vegetables, like sometimes 30% off, but really marked down low. They have coupons. If you're a coupon cutter, you can get coupons. They have meat day. Thursdays, I believe, are meat days at Playero, and pretty good deals. I'm like thinking that someone could live if someone doesn't go out, if they don't go get girls, oh, I got to tell you a story time. But yeah, if someone doesn't go get girls, someone doesn't drink, someone doesn't go party, and they go to the grocery stores when there's good deals and they just enjoy their life, they do their own cooking, they could easily live on 1,500 a month, 1,000 a month. Let me tell you this story. Let me see. Good for your circulation and high blood pressure. Oh, yeah? Hibiscus tea or the other teas that I mentioned. Um, so yeah, none of your business. You could live here comfortably. 3,000 to 4,000 a month. Oof. You would live like royalty because like you can take that money and invest it in like crypto. You can take that money and like just save it, invest in other things like stocks. That's good money. Um, we drink, we party, get girls, so that will not be me. Need more money. Well, if you drink and you party and you get girls, then yeah, you can you can get you can get broke pretty quickly. Let me see if you guys can see this. Can you guys see that? Ah, can you guys see that? It's a ship behind the red, all the way in the distance. See that ship behind the red roof? It's moving very slowly. That's coming all the way from Puerto Plata. First time I've ever seen one there. It's not moving that slowly, actually. But yeah, there's going to be, just a quick side note, there's going to be Baron something. I keep forgetting the name of it, but the Vin Diesel, he is opening up a beachfront area and like a whole entire brand new area in Puerto Plata. It's called Barangoni or something like that. You guys can look it up. But they're also going to be bringing ships there as well. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It's another thing that's happening here in Puerto Plata. They're preparing for a whole lot. Okay, so yeah, if you get girls, if you party, you can live on 3, 4 thousand a month, and it would go pretty quickly depending on the girls. I was at Plan B yesterday, and chilling out. My friend works there on Fridays. She's Canadian. So I went to go say hi to her and chill out with her and everything. And a guy came in there, and he was flat broke. And he stood up and he showed me how much money he had in his pocket, like, because he was talking about his girl. He said his girl likes his money more than he does. And I was like, your girl likes your money more than she likes you. Like, what do you mean your girl likes your money more than you do? That doesn't even make sense. She doesn't like you. She likes your money. Anyway, and they're not even intimate all the time. And she just he gives her all this money. He came here with a huge savings and it's gone, and he doesn't have enough money to get off the island. He had 50 pesos in his pocket. He couldn't even buy his own beer. His friend bought him the beer. He had 50 pesos in his pocket. That's like just under a dollar. It's a dollar Canadian. It's the equivalent of a dollar Canadian. I was like, oh my gosh. I said to him, how are you living? He said he paid his rent for 6 months in advance. So, and he did that October 1st. He paid his rent 6 months in advance. And so he has his rent. And I'm like, well, how are you going to survive? And he said that he's going to look for odd jobs. I told him go work for the coffee bean farm. I said the coffee bean farm is looking for workers. And then his friend was with him. And his friend that bought him the beer is like, and what? Work for 300 pesos a day like the Dominicans? It's better than just walking around with 50 pesos in your pocket. So yeah, it was really interesting. And he's spending it all on one woman. So you got to be careful what you do with your money. You know, don't spend too much. I like to do some online shopping once in a while, not too often. I don't waste money. Um, Coming up soon, I'm going to be going for some procedures, cosmetic procedures. They're just little procedures that I've been wanting to get done. As we get a little, as we age a little bit, I'm not being vain. I just want to preserve myself. I'm 54 in December. So I just want to feel good. Feeling good feels great. So I'm going to be putting a lot of money into some of those surgeries. I said earlier, I'm getting a breast lift. I'm getting an arm lift. I'm getting a tummy tuck and 360 sculpturing, where they snatch the waist in nice and tiny. And I am gonna also go for a lip lift right here. They lift the lip up a little bit, and it gives you a nice little bit of a thicker lip, and you can see your teeth when you talk. As we age, our lip right here elongates, and so we only see the bottom teeth when we talk. So when I get my braces off, I'm going to want to be able to full flash my teeth.
So I'm gonna be going for that. And yeah, I mean, but aside from that, I'm very conservative with money. I like to give money away to people. Like not give money away. I like to spend money on the streets. Like I like to buy the fruits and the vegetables from the Haitians. I like to when Dominicans are selling things on the street, I buy it. I buy a lot of things on the street. So I really love buying things on the street. Yesterday there's a Haitian woman, but I consider her Dominican. She's been here forever. Maybe she is Dominican, but she walks along the street and maybe a lot of you guys know her. She walks with all the towels on her head and she walks around with like teddy bears. I bought a teddy bear off her yesterday for Noche. I don't need teddy bears, but I bought a nice little one because it was a black dog and it reminded me of Noche. So I thought Noche would like to have a little stuffed animal to sleep with. And then I bought some towels off her. Her towels are amazing. They are so thick, so wonderful, high quality. Um, and so I bought 2 towels from her yesterday and that stuffed animal. Yeah, I like to really buy things on the street from the Dominicans. And I think you guys would like that as well. And Tony Hernandez, oh, thank you so much. Where is she getting all the money from surgery ASAP? Kenny, thank you so much. Sounds like you're trying to find a new man. TF. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm getting lonely. I never thought I would ever say that. But I think the other day I was like, I like, I want, I don't know if I really want the problems though. If you're a man, you're going to need at least a girlfriend, and that's going to cost him. TF, you're right. If you're a man and you want a girlfriend, um, it will cost a little bit, but it really depends too what kind of girlfriend you get. You know, if you get a young girl that wants her hair done and her nails done all the time, and she wants to go places and go out to dinner and everything because she wants to be reimbursed for all the cleaning that she's doing and cooking that she's doing and massages that she's doing, then yeah, you're going to spend some money. But if you get yourself like a nice, girl that's not a young girl and she's a woman and her kids are already grown, like she's like 40 something and her kids are like 20 something, and you know, she's not going to need anything. And more mature women and a little bit more up in the 40s, late 30s, they require less. They're already doing their own nails. They're already they already had a life of struggle and hardship. Not all of them. There's some very wealthy Dominicans, but for the most part, and she just wants to now just be able to rest with you, watch some TV with you, you know, go out and do some things. So yeah, you would be paying for a woman if you do get a woman. Um, and me, I'm single, but I did have a Dominican man before, and I was paying his way as well. And I'm not prepared to do that. That's why I've been single for 4 years. I don't like to dig in my purse constantly to take care of someone else or to pay for everything. I don't mind doing it. Like when I was in Toronto, I would go out with my friends and I would treat them or they would treat me. But I really like, just the other person paying for themselves. So I'll go out with my friends sometimes. Very rarely do people treat me here, and I don't look for it. But when guys come into town, you guys always like buy me a drink if I'm out at the bar, or you guys will come up to me and, give me like a couple of pesos to give to someone in my neighborhood, which is really kind and stuff of that nature. But money for the surgeries, just to get back to that, where is she getting all this money for the surgeries? The surgeries are a fraction of the cost here. So, um, you know, a few $1,000. and I'm going to one of the best surgeons. So a few $1,000. I don't have a car. I don't pay for, I don't pay for a car payment every month. Some of my friends here are expats and they rent cars monthly, and they're paying like $800 a month for a car to rent. Some of them paying $500 a month to rent a car. Like they have it 24/7. um, they're paying for gas, they're paying for the car. Some of them have boyfriends, so their money gets spent. And I am very conservative. It's only my dog and myself and my cat. um, and so the money that you save on the less expensive operations is worth it, and we're all worth it. And I do want to get those and just feel great, you know um I had a guy message me the other day. He's been messaging me for about a year, um, but he works with my landlord. He's the guard from one of my landlord's properties. I mean, for one of the properties of my landlord. And the guy's nice looking, and he takes good care of himself, and he looks good. And I've known him. I've known him now for 5 years. But he's been like trying to get with me for about a year now. So the other day, 2 days ago, I told him that he could come here and we'll sit down and we'll have a drink and chit chat, play some music. And then I just changed my mind because he's like, oh, great. You know, I'm so fun. That's what he said. He's so fun. He's like, I'm so fun. You're going to love it. And I'm like, who says that? Like, he's 45, so he's not a young Dominican, but he's still younger than me. And I don't like guys that are younger than me. I don't want to be with a 45-year-old dude. But he does work, and he's had that same job for 5 years. But I do know that, I mean, I'm not going to expect him to buy the beer. I like to drink wine. So, not expecting him to bring me a bottle of wine like how I get in Canada. When you invite someone over to your place, they come with a bottle of wine or whatever. I wouldn't expect him to do that. Um, so there's always that, you know, there's always that promise that I would be spending more on him. And I don't want to start off a connection like that. He has a daughter or a son, I don't know. He has a kid, and the kid's like 5 years old. And I don't want kids around me. I don't want to. I don't want any man to come up to me and say, "Oh, Amor, my son needs shoes for going back to school." Because I'm like, I would feel obligated, and I'd be like that type of person to take the kid to the mall and buy all their back to school stuff. And I love doing that type of stuff, but I don't want it to be an obligation, you know? I just, re- where can we find your properties listed? Why drop a link of the doctors in the chat ASAP? The doctor, um, is it on this phone? I'm pretty sure it's on this phone. Hold on. Mm. Is it on this phone? Yeah. Here's the guy. This guy's really good. Um, you can find him on Instagram. Here he is right here. His name is Dr. Carlos Saint Hilater. Hilater? Lockwood or something. I don't know. Here's his phone number. He does reconstructive surgeries as well. 809-966-3434. And yeah, his last name's Lockwood. So maybe he's not even Dominican, but he is located in Santo Domingo, and his work is so good. Here's his name right here. Um, Let me see. Okay, I'm going to spell it to you. Dr. Carlos, Carlos is spelled Carlos, Saint, Saint, Hilalier, Hilale, and then Lockward, Lockward. He is so amazing. I don't even need to lose weight to go to him. Like, you got to see what this man does to bodies. It I have a video right here. I'm going to show you guys. View on Instagram. Look at this. Just watch this. Watch what he does to this woman's body. That's how she went to him. Okay? Give it a minute. Oh my gosh, wait till you see her body. Okay? Give it a minute. Like, my breasts look like that. Like, and my body probably looks like that right now too. But look at that. You see that? Look at her body. Look at that. She looks like a Barbie doll. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking. And then those are the two pieces of fat at the very end that he took off. This man does magic, and I'm decided on him. I haven't gone for the consultation yet because I actually want to lose some of the weight on my own, just so I can just feel great about doing that. And as well, I don't want any complications. I don't want to be this weight and go in and then there's complications. I just want to make it as simple as possible. And plus, I think he could probably do a lot better work with a smaller body, right? I want to lose like 30 pounds before I go in. I got to lose 45 pounds altogether, but I want to lose about another 30 pounds before I go in. And then I'm going to go in and get all snatched up. My waist and everything. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, so no, I don't need to change locks on my door, Ria or Raya or whatever your name is there. Um, I don't need to change locks on my door. I have cameras everywhere in my apartment, everywhere. Um, and I can on the cell phone that I'm talking on right now is where I have my the app, and um, I have cameras in my bedroom, right here in the living room, in the kitchen. Um, so and when I'm out, I can watch my dog and my cat on the cameras, set an alarm, and the alarm goes off. So you can buy those cameras on Amazon for like 15 bucks. It's called Tapo, Tapo. They have different types. But on Amazon, they're really great devices, and they're like 1080 um 1080 view. So it's like great, and it's color, and at night when you turn the lights off, they have night vision. They're great. I love them. Um and where can we find your properties listed? So the properties that I have listed are on my YouTube. I usually put up videos. I'll be putting up a video on Monday of a villa that I have available, two bedroom, one bathroom that I have available, and then the two bedroom, two bathroom that is available. I'm putting those three up on Monday. Um, and all of them come furnished. And Stray Python. Hey, Stray Python. Um, Let me see what you said here. Oh no, I missed it. Oh, there we go. Nope, Cerise, you're right. Stay away from the grifters. You've been here and done. I've been there and done that. You're right. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm a lot of fun." It's like, "I'm a lot of fun." I'm like, "Who says that?" He thinks he's going to get some sex from me, and that's not going to happen. I've been single for 4 years. If that was going to happen, that would have happened. I would have brought someone home, did them up and whatever. I don't want to catch feelings. I'm not a person that would catch feelings. If I was interested in the sex, I would have no problem bringing a guy here, knocking boots, and then locking the door and saying bye. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I just don't want it. It's not my style. It's just not who I am. Never has been and never will be. And I don't disrespect women who are into that. I have some really good friends, and they're like, "Oh, Cerise, just have fun, have fun." But I have fun in other ways. I have fun making videos. I have fun writing my books. I have fun walking to the beach in the morning with my Christian music on. I put on some R&B Christian music in my headset, buy my little coffee, walk to the beach. Noche does her little peeing and her pooing, and then turn back around. I come home. I love my morning routine. I love, you know, I love my life. I love it. And I don't want it to change for something that is less than my worth, and just for a little bit of sex. I can't do that to myself. So straight python, I know you're right. I'm gonna stay away from that one. But I do welcome an expat, like a mature man, an older man, not a 40-year-old, not a 45-year-old, like a mature man on a pension, like I'm 54 in December. I would like if he's like 65, 60, mature, retired. We can go on bus trips together. He has to like dogs and cats because I have a dog and cat, you know. Um, like I don't know. It's just I want to like he would have to have his own place. I would go visit him at his place. We could go to Santo Domingo to a nice show, nice musical, a concert, go to Puerto Plata and, you know, go on the Malecon on the beach for the day. Just these things. That's what I want. I want to have a best buddy that I can chill out with and, you know, hug and massage each other and, you know, just live a really good life together. I definitely don't want a younger man that I need to take care of. You're right, Stray Python. I've been there. I've done it. And I saw that guy the other day. Like I saw him on Wednesday and I was just like so grossed out. I was like, ew. I passed him in the street. I was on a motor concho and he was on his motorcycle. And I was just like, ew. It was ridiculous. So totally my life when I first got here, which I needed to have at the time, because he helped me out with helping me understand the culture, but it's definitely not someone I would want now. But you can find a sugar mama. Let me see. He wants you to support him. Remember the last Dominican, Casey. You guys are comical. I love you. Let me see. Deanna, exactly. But when you try to explain that to the local men, they don't understand it. No, I think it's just a horrible idea, Atlantico, for the local economy. Yeah, New York grading. It has been a little rough, but I think Operation Atlantico is now, I consider it over. I doing the news, I realized that it's not just Sosua. And doing the news, I'm learning so much about the country. And it just feels so good to learn so much about where I'm living on a different level as opposed to just Sosua. And I'm like, whoa, this country is growing like huge leaps and bounds. They went to the United Nations meeting, and Russia and China, like a lot of countries, all agreed that they're going to send in military into Haiti because the Dominican Republic needs help. The Haitians, they need help. The Haitians deserve their country. They deserve to have help. They don't want to be displaced the way they are. They should, they have a country, and a very beautiful country. They have beautiful beaches, beautiful houses there. But the government just really just tore it all apart, and they need help. So the UN is now going to help because the Dominican can't do it on their own. The Dominican Republic they just can't do it on their own any longer. So that is something that's really special that's going to be happening for this country and for the Haitians. And there's a lot of businesses that are investing here. There's not the president said there should be no more blackouts by 2026. That's, I think, a little bit of a stretch, but I believe it's possible. Um, I mean, there's so much sun, they should be using a lot of solar panels. And he said no more hunger by 2028. No more hunger for a lot of the families here, because some people, they're hungry, right? So I don't know how he's going to combat that one, but I'm pretty sure all that is really possible. Just all the business investments and everything that's going on. Um, and then G Nice says, but if you can find me a sugar mama. Oh, there's a lot of sugar mamas here. You just got to go for a Canadian. They're very kind, the Canadian women. But they like their younger men. And let me see. Corinthians, has Ray been arrested again? Not again, Casey. Um, not again, just the other day. Cleasy says, you got the right idea. Protect your peace. Dominican people are too beggy. There's a Canadian in the house. Beggy is such a Canadian word. Um, it's not that they're too beggy. They can be, you know, they can be, especially the women with the men, because the women are very beautiful. And the women are, most of them did go for those surgeries. And if they didn't, they have the natural beautiful body, and they're younger and they know what their worth is. So, yeah, they want a lot. And so they ask for a lot. And a lot of them don't have a lot. So, but the guys, I'm not about to buy a guy's sneakers in a cell. I can't. Oh no, I can't do it. ASAP. This year might be a slow Halloween turnout. I don't think so. A little slower, but not slow. It's going to be great. Um, Jay says, I do remember the 1993 home run by Joe Carter, game 6 against the Cheesesteaks. I don't know what that means. Cliff, woman give Rumba owner money. I don't know if I don't think Ray would take money from the working women. They bring in money. Oh, right. They give him money, right? Because the guys go there, right? That's what you mean. The guys go there, so the women bring in him money. Right, 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 right. Yeah, of course. Of course. Um, you're right. But there are no working women right now, really. And well, there is, and they're all over. But they're not going into Kings. They're not going into Kings because that's the first place where they know they're going to get targeted. You know, um, so I'm pretty sure he's frustrated with a lot of what was going on. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. He's a businessman, you know? He's not a pimp. He's not like into drugs or anything of this nature. He is a very serious straight businessman. And I respect his business grind, and it's just so unfortunate that a good person like him, he hit, he got to his breaking point. But it's also nice to see, and this may sound a little off because what he did was wrong, but it was water and it wasn't like a bat. It's not like his breaking point was really severe. He got a hose and he sprayed them. He's like, "You guys are like rats. I'm going to spray you out in the street." And again, I can't even imagine how many times he must have asked them, move along, but they're standing right there. It's almost like they have numbers. They have to have a certain quota, arrest a certain amount of girls, and bam, right there. It's like the girls are going to try to get in there and they arrest them right away. And he's just like, enough is enough. um so it's a two-edged sword. you know I think it's the perfect explanation for it. It's a two-edged sword. He's a businessman, he's a clean businessman. He has a business for the Americans. The women go in there because they're allowed. They're not allowed into some of the other places. And they go in there because their clientele goes there. And the clientele goes there because the girls are there. It's and Ray provides a business. It's not a front. It's not a brothel. He literally has a really great menu, a huge menu. And it's one of the only restaurants that I have gone to and seen like a huge menu. And usually, unless it's something seasonal, everything that is on that menu you can usually get, unless it's like something seasonal. I wouldn't even know what, like maybe guacamole or whatever, right? Because avocados are not year round. So if it's like something seasonal, but he really is, he really does look out for his business, and he hit his breaking point. And I pray for him, and I pray for this to go away really quickly. I I I really just want everyone here to be at peace. The operation went down. The operation, it was a success. The girls are out of the street. They're still here, but they're out of the street. Pedro Clasante is clean. I mean, clean. Even the aesthetics. Sosua looks cleaner, you know, um, like just cleaner. And I can see the future for Sosua looking cleaner. And so, there were rumors saying that Ray was deported, and that's the reason why I made this video, because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't, because it's not for views. When I make videos, obviously it's because, for views and for information for you guys and stuff of that nature. But this was a really touchy situation for me because I know Ray personally, and I say hi to him in the street, and I didn't want him to look at my video and be like, "Oh, Cerise made a video about this," because he's he's low profile type of guy. He's not out there in the streets, and he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's not trying to put himself out there and act like Mr. Big Man. He's from Bermuda. He has a really like he, he's a straight dude in my opinion. So I can just imagine how he must feel right now, being all over Facebook, being spoken about. Some comments are very nasty. Some comments were so nasty. And some comments were very nice. Some comments were very supportive. Like, well, what would you expect a business owner to do? But his face, like his mug shot was everywhere. And like I said, he's a low profile type of dude. So that My heart goes out to him for that. I don't think he's done any wrong here in this town. And he got very frustrated. And we are all guilty sometimes of getting to our breaking point. I was at my breaking point before I moved upstairs. You know, I was yelling out the window, Cerrado tu boca, shut your mouth. I was yelling out the window to the Haitian women as they were screaming at each other, couldn't handle it. And then the one woman said, Yo estoy en mi apartamento. I'm in my apartment. And I said, okay, I don't even know why I'm talking to you. I could just call the police, but I'm talking to you because I respect you. I'm telling you to be quiet. It's 11:30 at night. You're yelling, you're fighting, you're hollering, you're screaming. It's disrespectful. You know? Come on. I don't need to ask you to be quiet. I don't need to at all. I can just call the police and the police will go straight there and she would be where? In Haiti the next day. Who wants to do that? Who wants to be responsible for somebody getting deported? You know, I couldn't, I could never live with myself if I ever did that. I could never live with myself. I would think about it day and night, thinking that a person was deported all because they were making noise and I didn't like it. Right. So I thought maybe I could just tell her, like, shut your mouth. And I did literally said it like that. I literally said, Cerrado tu boca, like that. And that's when she said, I'm in my apartment. Yeah, but your apartment is like literally this close to mine, literally this close to mine. And you got to respect people. And so, yeah, um, you know, I had my breaking point too when I said that to her, but I didn't call the police and I wouldn't call the police like on her, like that. Um, but I thought about it. I was like, "Oh gosh." And she was yelling and fighting and hollering and screaming and it was like all the time, 3 months straight. Mm. And so I understand Ray's breaking point, you know. I understand what he was, you know. And NY grading, you look like a snitch. I think you do secretly call police on people you don't like. I know you're kind. Why? Because you think I'm white? Is that why? No. First of all, I'm saying that because that's what people say about white people, like Karens. No, I'm not a Karen. A little something about me. I was born and raised in the hood in downtown Toronto called Regent Park. I come from the hood and I come from mixed background. My dad was a Rastafarian. Okay. I come from criminals. I come from a roughneck family. Not my dad was not a criminal. My dad was not a criminal. My mom was not a criminal. My household was not criminalistic. But I come from like the hood, you know? I come from when crack was crack, 1989. I even had teenage pregnancy. I was 17 years old when I had my daughter. I come from some rough neck beginnings. And you know, um I come from an area where you don't call the police because you learn to deal with it. You open up your window and you say, shut your mouth. That's what you do. And that's me. I'm not sneaky, shady, snitchy. I would never snitch on anyone at all. I think sometime, and even if someone asks me, see, hear, nothing, keep quiet. I keep if you were to know me, I keep it moving. Even when I see a lot of the Dominicans cheating on their wives, I'm just quiet and they know it. I'll be at a colmado and the guy who owns another I was at a colmado in Maranata. Here's a story. I was at a colmado in Maranata and there's a guy that owns a colmado here in Charamicos and I saw him with another woman in Maranata. And he looked at me And I know his wife. I say hi to him and his wife every single day when I go into that colmado. Well, not every single day, but often. Their kids and everything. And he was sitting there. This woman was a fat woman. She didn't even look as good as his wife, you know? But his wife used to be fat. She lost weight. So maybe he likes big women. I don't know. But anyway, he was sitting there with the woman and he looked at me. I looked at him, nodded. That was it. And maybe he was a little afraid at first. But why? That's none of my business to go and talk and snitch on him. And we see that all the time here. We see the men stepping out with other women. We see the women stepping out with other men. I live in Charamicos in the hood. Most of the girls that work in Pedro Clasante, I see them in here with their children and I know they're married. I know they have a family. And then I see them in the bars with a boyfriend. You just learn how to keep your mouth shut when you're from the hood. And I'm from the hood. So, what you said, I take it very offensively, but then at the same time, I take it as your ignorance. It's your ignorance, it's your mindset. And you just exposed yourself. And what you're exposing is your stupidity. You know, you judge someone. And I know you said it because you think I'm white. And I know you said it like that, but for that reason. And that's all right. I don't care. But I just want to express myself to let you know how foolish you are, right? Because you should never judge somebody by how they look. And that's exactly what you said. You look like this. I know your type. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Um, and Rich Boy says, I agree. Wow. Uh, and why grading? Your wife is white. Okay. Well, maybe you think she's just the coolest white woman then. I don't know. But no, I don't know why you would think I look like a snitch, but I guess that could be a compliment, right? I guess I get I there where there's negative, there too lies positive. I don't like I don't like what you're insinuating because I it's a very uncomfortable accusation, very mean accusation. And it's uncalled for, especially while I'm being open and honest and I'm always like that. I've never seen you in my comments before. I don't know who you are, but um I guess where there's negative there too lies positive. God knows my heart. God vindicates me. So I don't need to explain myself anymore, but I can look at it positively and think, I don't know, maybe snitches look innocent. Maybe they look like they're not criminalistic. Maybe they just look like they want to tell on everyone else. Maybe. Maybe what you see is my heart and I'm not involved in any crimes or criminalistic things. So maybe that's the vibe you get. I'm going to look at it positive. I'm going to look at it positive. Hey, D Rex. Peace, brother. And let me see. Cleasy, she's a normal civilian. She's allowed to call the police. Yeah, but I wouldn't call the police. That's what normal law abiding citizens do. I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to condemn her for doing so. No, I wouldn't. You can't call the police on Haitians here. They will get deported. You don't call the police. You just don't call the police anyway. How are you going to call the police? You have to have a special connection. I do have police officers in my phone, but those guys have all been changed, right? And that police officer that I had was named Henry, and that was because my ex-boyfriend was hitting on me, putting hands on me, and my friend Memphis Rain gave me the police officer's phone number on the beach one day and introduced me to the police officer to if I needed to save my life. And I did get to a point of that one day. But aside from that, there's just no number that you call here. And like there's no police line that you call to say, yeah, police, can you come do this and come do that? We have 911, but when you I don't know anyone that calls 911 and calls the police. It's just not that type of place. It's you got it twisted. So, yeah. But anyway, back to that. I hit my breaking point at that moment, and I'm like, shut your mouth through the window. And it was a conversation between the both of us. And she knew too. She knew that I was giving her respect. She knew that I hit my breaking point. She knew that she was too much. And she got quiet immediately. And then we now made an agreement that when they're too noisy, well, not now because I moved upstairs and now I don't hear them as much. But before I moved upstairs, our agreement was I would call the landlord over, well, the guy, the head guy. They don't pay rent. So they're squatters, right? They don't pay rent. They steal electricity from the street, they don't have water either. So it's a very sad situation. But then I made an agreement with them. You know what? Just when I'm doing my videos, I'm going to contact the guy and he's going to tell you guys to be quiet. But what would happen was they would take the kids from outside and put the kids inside, and then it would even become noisier because I'm on the second floor and their apartment was straight from across from me. So no matter what, I could hear the kids and I wouldn't be able to make my videos. So I just started to go out the to the restaurants to make my videos. You guys know the last couple of videos that I made, I did it in restaurants. Um, I did two of them in restaurants. And there's a little bit of noise in the background, but it's more of the street and it's more of the music. I did one on don't come to the Dominican Republic if you're not ready for, I think 9 reasons not to come to the Dominican Republic. I did that one in a bar, and then I did broke expats, I think, in a bar. And I had to go out to do those videos because it's better to hear, music in the background and cars in the street than it is screaming children. So now I'm back to normal. Now I can be up here in my apartment and no more opening up the window and yelling back and forth. So I feel good with that. And just bringing it back to that was my breaking point. And I believe that Ray, his breaking point was hosing down the police officers. And no, it's not good. And yes, I understand it's still assault, but I couldn't imagine being in a situation where you have a viable business, a very busy business, and all of a sudden there is a crackdown and your business becomes somewhat of a target because the girls are there all the time. And you go from having a really good, successful business to no business, hardly any business at all. And it's because the police officers are still standing outside of your business. You know, they don't really stand outside anybody else's business too much like that. They do at the cafe. But yeah, so he hit his breaking point. And I know probably now, I think they will actually work with him. I think the story got so much publicity that I think also when the Human Rights Commission comes in, they will also work with him. I believe this. And they may say, okay, you know, like, I don't know, because it's tough. It's another two-edged sword because the women are all there, right? But they may say like, yeah, we understand you are heavily invested in the Dominican Republic. He has obligations here. um I think he has a family. I'm not sure, but it's tough. um and let me see. Don't listen to that nonsense. Corinthians says, don't listen to that nonsense. You're not a snitch. That's just someone trying to trigger you. They triggered me. Casey, you look normal to me, like Cerise. You've been a part of Sosua since Sosua scene since I've been there. Thank you, sweetheart. They don't know you, baby girl. Thank you so much. Um, no, let me see. Mike Jones, are you married? No, I'm not married. NY grading, what I said seems, um, it may seem over the top, right? But you don't live here, you know? And when a person's being honest, you open up your heart and you don't judge. You don't need to judge. I'm saying the story because I'm expressing what I was going through. I lived in that apartment for 5 years. And, I lived in this area for a very long time. And I just feel like all of us neighbors need to respect each other. And I feel like the women over there, they've been there for 3 months only, and there's many of them. And I get it. They're all in one room and they're frustrated and they fight. I don't know. Women get their periods and they get angry. And when a whole bunch of women are together at one time, they all get their period. They regulate each other and they all get their periods normally within a week of each other or days of each other. I don't know if you guys know that. When a whole bunch of women are together, they all get their periods at the same time. It's actually written in the Bible. It says when a woman gets her menstrual cycle, she must go and stay with women. And it's because when there's a group of women, they usually get it at around the same time. And I think these women, um, they have a lot going on. They're hungry. They can't go outside. They'll get arrested. Immediately, they'll get arrested just stepping out into the street. So they only go out at nighttime when it's very dark and when police go up and down the street because part of Operation Atlantico, the police were also clearing out a lot of the Haitians here in Charamicos. And they would come in trucks and go all the way down to La Piedra, pick up Haitians and take them to jail and deport them, or they would have to pay to get out. Right. So here in my apartment building and across from me in our little vicinity here, we don't we don't call the police. We don't we don't even like we wouldn't even think of that. You know, my landlord, I told my landlord about the noise and my landlord spoke to them as well. Why call immigration? Why call the national police? It's just not, it's, you don't do that to people. So, no, you don't live here, you don't understand the situation. But yes, in this apartment, I've been living here for 5 years. Well, downstairs, I've been in this apartment for a week now. And I moving was my solution. And I just hope that Ray finds his solution because that's his bread and butter. That business is very well known and he put his heart and his soul into it. So I really pray that he can find a solution. And I pray that the authorities work with him because even though his place is known for women going there, um, there's got to be a thicker line. It can't be such a fine line, you know. Um, the women have to be able to go somewhere. They're not on the street, so they where are they going to go? You know, they're not soliciting. It's illegal to solicit on the street, right? But are they allowed to sit in a bar and talk to a dude about trading services? You know, she's allowed to accept money for intimacy. She's allowed to tell a man how much she would charge him to go home with him. You know, that's not illegal. So that's where the fine line, that's where the line is so thin. I don't understand that part. I get the girls should not be on the street soliciting. That's illegal. They can't solicit in public. That's illegal. But arresting them just because they're on the street or arresting them before they go into a restaurant that is known for women that solicit go in. I think it's difficult. It's difficult. And I think it's going to find its balance. I think when the commission comes in, um, the police will be a little bit tamed. I believe that the police were trained to go for those women. They are doing profiling, you know, like the Gestapo in Germany, when the German police went after Jewish people. Like, did Hitler know it was going to get that much out of control? Possibly. He was an angry man. But did he know it was going to be like 6 million people gassed? Sometimes police officers go overboard. Sometimes police officers take the power in their own hands and they allow it to go to their heads. A lot of the police officers that are there right now in Pedro Clasante, they're young. They're very young. And, I have never had any problem with them. I say hi to them. They, obviously I didn't have any problem with them, but I don't see people getting arrested. Um, I don't see anyone getting arrested any longer. I, but I know that Ray is not a crazy man. I know that Ray is a businessman, and he's not the type of person that's just going to get a hose without forewarning. I could only imagine how many times he must have told them, get away from the door, get away from the door, right? And he's not here all the time. He goes back and forth to Bermuda all the time. So Ray business is fine because it's a sports bar as well. Yes, that's true. Hi, Andrew. Um, Casey, I don't know. Didn't know they had synchronized periods. Yes, synchronized periods. Isn't that something? God is great. Like, the human body is a beautiful thing. It's so interesting. Um, and let me see. Yes, they're still renting ATVs. Black 900. And could you stand up, please, so I could get a better look at you? No, I'm not going to stand up. um, but I I did a special on the ATVs. They weren't renting them out, but then they had a big meeting in town with the mayor and the other people who are in charge, and they said they just want to regulate them. They just want to regulate the ATVs. So that's what they did. Anyone who owns an ATV, they have 30 days. Now it's probably about 15 days to go in to the office and get a stamp. And so they get a personal ID for their ATV, and like a little card of some kind to say where they can use it and what streets. There's certain routes now that you can use it. But I still see them driving everywhere. Like, I still see these ATV owners driving in all the streets, so they realize that it is a tourism activity. They can't take everything away from Sosua, so they're leaving the ATVs, which I think is great. And they know that, Halloween is coming up, and, there's some rumors going around that there's going to be like a sweep of some other business owners that plan events around Halloween. And I don't want to say any of the business owner names because you guys know who they are and it's irrelevant, but I don't believe that they're going to do that. I don't believe that they're going to do a sweep at Halloween. I don't believe that at all. I think they will be happy when there's tourism here again. Halloween is when high season starts. And I believe that everyone, already had a taste of what is happening now, because people are still coming. People are still coming. Like right now over there, I don't know if you guys can hear the party boats and everything on the beach over there. Um, you guys can't see, but uh, hold on. So the beach is. You guys probably can't hear the beach and the party boats, but there's music and there's people and it's a Saturday and yeah, it's busy.